raining like a monsoon and it's so loud on the roof of the garage. Alright everyone, I'm Nathan. We're going to be doing some work to this 335i here, doing the SpeedTech big single bottom mount, big turbo setup on it. It's my first experience with a 335i, so I kind of want to record it and see, you know, I guess the trials and tribulations that we're going to have with doing this kit. I kind of use it as a workbench, but that's the box. Just clean it off here. But yeah, I kind of want to document, you know, the whole process and maybe break it up into a few part series. Don't mind the mess as you see around here. Kind of consolidating between two buildings. The building where you saw, if you see the first video that I posted, probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago now almost, with the red talent. That building, I had a bunch of my stuff, which is now here at my home garage. That way I don't have to drive so far after work. I work 10 plus hours a day, you know, from the time that I leave and the time that I get home. I'm gone for almost 12 hours. So it kind of makes it nice to have everything centralized here at the house. But yeah, kind of been doing a little bit around the shop. It was cram-packed, couldn't even get another vehicle in here, so now it's open enough to drive a vehicle in and out. Made room for the lift a few weeks ago, so definitely makes life a little bit easier. Should make things go pretty smooth. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of, again, document the journey, and hopefully you guys will maybe inspire on your own to try it on your own, or, you know, see if you wanted to install the kit or not on your own, or, you know, source it out to a shop or somebody that, you know, can take on the challenge. But yeah, join along, join in on the fun. I'm gonna try and do some different camera angles, kind of still experimenting. This will be my second video ever, so yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, or tell me you hate it. I know I'm fat. It is what it is. Camera adds a lot, or at least I say it will, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll go on a diet to be more beautiful for the camera, but I don't really care. So yeah, hopefully you can enjoy my little bit of sense of humor, I guess, that I can bring to the video too. Not be so uptight, I guess, but still be serious enough to take on a new task that's going to be pretty serious and I guess nerve-wracking at some point in time here. At least Bruce is claiming that it's going to test our friendship, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, join in. Well, here she is. I don't have a lot of room to go back to get it in the shot completely, unless I go around the back of the car, but this is what we're starting with. Everything under the hood as it came. Kind of do maybe a little bit of a before and an after. He's got her looking pretty good. It's a little dirty from sitting in my place, but kind of go over it and show what we're getting into. I've already disconnected the battery. Kind of let it discharge, do whatever it's got to do. That way I know I'm going to be pulling a lot of stuff off this. Kind of give you an idea what we're working with here. I'm sure he's told me, but I don't remember what year it is, so I'm going to look. It is an 11 of 07, so 2008. 335i N54 car. It's kind of a learning process for me as well. I had a 330 back in the day, which was, I believe, the M54 designation, which was, I don't know exactly the differences between the engines, so I'm not even going to say and sound like a dumbass, but I know that they do share a little bit of the platform. I come from more of a DSM background. Ask me anything pretty much about a DSM or RX-7s even. I could pretty much tell you anything you need to know. Definitely DSM. Maybe not so much the FD RX-7s, but the FCs. Got a Turbo 2 there. Lots of DSMs around. Red Rocket. My laser. Another customer Eclipse there. But yeah, this is the beginning of the process, so I guess we'll start on it. As you can see, I was having a little bit of an issue. Had to actually take the soft face hammer there onto the back side of the wheel lip. As you can see, it doesn't scratch it or mar it with that soft face, but that there is the perfect example of galvanic corrosion. Two dissimilar metals, when they get together with no never seize or anti-seize, they get that corrosion. I'll have to clean that off while we put it back together, but get some never seize on it. But yeah, that's what you see in the video of me kind of smacking the back side of that wheel to kind of shimmy it, you know, back and forth to get it off that hub, which is, you know, pretty important that it be hub centric and it's good and tight. That means that the wheel is actually centered to the wheel bearing, but at the same point in time it makes it kind of tough when, you know, it's been a while, or this car I don't believe sees salt or wintertime at all. So that is, you know, not even the Ohio salt, that's just natural corrosion. So, but getting the wheels off this here, and I'm gonna take and get the underside tray body panel off and start getting everything cleared away to drop this bottom cradle down. So on to the next step. Come to find out, I actually don't need to remove all of the under tray panels. They're all gone already. Sorry for the low light. I need to find like a smaller, maybe work almost like a construction light to lay on the ground to light the underside of doing this work, but not too bad really. Looks like might have a little bit of a leak on the turbo drain. It's been leaving a little puddle every once in a while when it's sitting. Kind of trying to see where that's all coming from. Other than that, it doesn't look too shabby. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, I don't want to be giving away all of the secrets, but see this thing? It looks kind of like an under tray panel. No, that's a massive intercooler. Give you an idea of how thick that thing is. 7 inches thick for an intercooler. I'm not sure who makes it. I'll have to ask him and find out, but that thing is a monster. It's just huge. That's crazy.
Alright, got the video on the camera since I'm a dummy and didn't realize that my phone has it, but we got a little bit of an oil leak. Trying to decide where it's coming from. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if we're gonna get it up there. You can kind of see. There it is. That's the drain off of the front turbo. And it looks like it's got a little bit of oil coming off of it, maybe running down off the oil drains. Not too sure. Can't tell if it's, but that's definitely, I mean, it's coming up right there. That's your hose off the water pump. That's right below that drain, so it's definitely leaking off of that. And it had a little bit of a drip kind of starting on it, but looks like that could be a contributing factor to our oil leak. And I don't know if it's the oil pan. Seems like a lot of it's collecting back here towards the bell housing. I'm not too quick to jump on a rear main because it doesn't look too bad. I pulled that little cover and it looked dry in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll out the rear main right now, as well as the front. I mean, it doesn't look like it's, you can't quite see it, but it doesn't look like either of the mains are really leaking. It just seems to be attributed to that one oil drain and probably the oil pan gasket on this side. Got that. We'll have to assess, talk it over with him, probably get a new oil pan gasket coming for it. Probably about as far as I'm gonna get tonight. It's already fairly late. Trying to figure out camera situations with the time lapse and this, and kind of doing my intro and waiting for it to quit raining because it was so loud in here, which I do apologize in the earlier video, like the intro video, if it was a lot of background noise. But yeah, first little update video. I'll try and get it uploaded as soon as I can. Maybe make a little bit more progress tomorrow after work. I know it's supposed to get hotter, which I don't get home from work until probably about 6:30 in the evening here Eastern Standard Time in Ohio. So it should kind of knock the edge of the heat off, but they're saying heat index somewhere around like 113 to 115, which I know out west is, you know, baby dick compared to what, you know, we're used to here, and you know what you guys are used to. So yeah, kind of try and, don't mind me, I'm just kind of meandering around looking under here, kind of inspecting stuff. I gotta unbolt the steering shaft. I already got my little e-torque socket up inside there. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, the e-torque socket, figuring out my new set to unhook the steering shaft from the rack when we go to drop this entire cradle assembly here. All is getting dropped out. Well, not necessarily dropped out. You can take it out if you want, but I'm gonna try and get get around dropping it completely out and just lower it down as they're saying they were doing, which shouldn't be a huge issue, I don't think. We've got the engine mount bolts on either side. That steering shaft, and there's looks to be 6 cradle bolts. That steering shaft, I gotta support the steering wheel to hold it straight, that way we don't mess up the clock spring in it. Short of that, support the engine. Actually, from the top side, I've got the tool leaning up against the wall there. That will go from fender to fender, and I'll get the camera to come into focus here maybe. There we go. But that will go from fender to fender, and then it's got a hook that drops down, and it will go into the top of the cylinder head. It has a little spot where it threads in the hook. I actually think the factory tow hook looks like it's the same thread. It threads in there. So do that, drop that cradle, and then I can get to support the rest of the exhaust. I probably won't have to drop the entire exhaust, but get the downpipes off, then start getting the turbos off. Got a little bit on the top side to do. Got to pull the water pump and drain the coolant, but it's not anything too crazy. Just keep plugging away at it and probably make a good chunk of headway tomorrow. So I guess we'll cut it out there, and we'll see everybody probably tomorrow.